What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls Postgame Show. Coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck. Big Dave, bam, BAWL Sports. Four-time NBA champ, Will Perdue. Man in the middle, Will_Perdue 32. Will the Go Gottlieb will join us from the Smoothie King Center later on in tonight's postgame show.
Let's see how many smoothies he had.
I'm guessing he needed a couple in the second half to get through that one.
Maybe some daiquiris.
Ooh.
Here, can you just hand me one of those?
Let's go.
We doing this?
Go. Before
We
mine
doing
even
this?
comes off.
Hold on.
Let me just do this for Peck.
Hey, let's go.
Good.
The Will Perdue half throat.
Let the hate flow through you.
It has nothing to do with hate, and that doesn't make me feel any better. That's bullshit.
Oh.
Well, that's why there's more hats.
You just didn't throw it
You only
like
threw
Will.
one.
Oh.
That's right.
You got to get the
You gotta
snap
get
of the wrist.
snap on there, man. Look at the
Ooh.
flick of the wrist.
See?
You got to get that on there, man.
already
It's raining hats.
Bulls fall to the Pelicans in their season
Wait a
opener.
minute, where are we officially? 2 on the season, or is that 3?
Well, that's
3. She's saying 3.
Apparently that's 3.
She's saying 3.
Well, does it count if Will did it and not
Yeah, I
Matt?
threw it on his behalf.
Okay.
I get all the hat credit around
All
here.
the hat credit.
123-111 was the final.
Shut up.
Tale of
Giddey.
two halves. Shout out to everybody joining us on YouTube. Go ahead and hit that thumbs up button while you're sitting there.
Yeah.
We will get to as many of y'all's thoughts as we can. Throw us a super chat if you feel so inclined. What up, Ben Dean, Jeff Crook, Power Sports,
Ben Dean.
Alberto, Henry, everybody in the comments. Guys, the start of this game was really fascinating because the start of this game was Zach LaVine reminding the rest of the NBA that he's an all-star caliber player when he wants to be. We talked a lot in pregame about this faster-paced offense, and Purdue, I saw you sitting there saying this in the first 5 or 6 minutes of the game. The pace wasn't necessarily there, but the three ball was falling specifically for Zach, who started this game 5 of 5. So what did you see in that? The Bulls were a little sluggish trying to bring the ball up the floor at times in that first quarter. Maybe they were just feeling out the Pelicans a little bit. You know, they were getting shots up, but the pace wasn't quite there. What do you think?
No, it wasn't. And in my opinion, throughout the whole game, they never really got the Pelicans on their heels.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you always hear a coach about get the opponent on their heels. If you look at it, the Bulls only got 86 shots. Okay.
Compared to their 106
Now,
possessions per 48 in the preseason?
Shout out preseason.
if you include the 21 turnovers, they got 107 shots.
Okay.
But and listen, I know this is little things, but I'm just sharing with you this is what this team will be looking at tomorrow when they're watching film.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Because here's the issue with once the season starts, because of how coaches approach the season, there's very little practice time moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
So if we sit here and we watch a game and we're like, oh man, this team needs a lot of work, then the question is, well, when are they going to get it? Because this is what they talk about when they talk about learning on the fly, right? Because it's just the lack of practice time. So they play tonight, got Thursday off, got Friday, Saturday, right?
Yep. First back-to-back of the season, Friday, Saturday.
Okay, so Zach LaVine, 36 minutes. He's not practicing. Vooch, 30 minutes. He's not practicing. Kobe White, 34. He's not practicing. Josh Giddey, 30. He's not practicing. Io, 25. Now, when I say they're not practicing, they're not going up and down the floor. They're going to
do a walkthrough.
They're going to get up a lot of shots. They're going to watch a lot of film. So, again, you're going to be talking about the adjustments, the chemistry. How do we do this? But what they're looking at is a lot of times you can run on maids.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you go back and you remember what was one of the things that Billy talked about a lot, but instead of making this a rhetorical question.
Shout out to you for having an iPad and an actual pad to write on at the same
I'm
time.
old school, man.
Shout out to you, bro. No, I'm just saying shout out.
It's a cross between a boomer and Gen X.
I'm with that, man. Wheels with all the technology, okay?
So I'm a boomer X?
Yeah,
Hey.
that's right.
In other words, I'm old?
No, we say grown. I think you're grown. I don't think you're old.
I mean, I have to have caffeine so I can do this show.
Yeah. Mature. You are mature.
But Billy talked about the best shots are the shots that are taken within the first 7 seconds of the shot clock. The second best shots are the shots that are taken in the next 7 seconds. And then the worst shots in basketball are those that are taken in the last 7 seconds. So I saw a couple things. One, even though the Pelicans are, for the most part, back, and when I say back, one of the things that Johnny Bach used to talk about is all 5 guys need to be below the level of the ball. Okay. I thought the Pelicans did an excellent job of, turning around and sprinting back.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But that doesn't mean you still can't push the pace to force them down below the free throw line. You occasionally were getting the ball across half court pretty quickly, but then you kind of stopped the push at the 3-point line. If you continue to push the pace, even if you're not necessarily attacking the basket, but attacking the end line,
yes, sir.
What happens? It pushes the defense down. And then that's when the crisp passing around the perimeter, you find that open guy and you get that open shot in that first 7 seconds. And instead of 34 threes and you only make 10, now you have 48, and let's say you make 15, 18, and you're like, that's still a pretty bad percentage. But at the end of the day, your opponent, was 14 out of 37. You just need more makes than them. But that also increases the number of shots you get. Your opponent got 97, you got 86. They got 11 more than you did, and you're the team that's supposed to be playing with pace. So that's just, when we talk about, now, if you don't want to play with pace, we're going to see what we saw tonight a lot.
Well, I mean, yes, some of it's pace, but with pace, and we've talked about this throughout their training camp practices and talking about how excited we are to see a faster paced offense this season for the first time in a while, with pace and younger players and experienced players, guys who are not necessarily elite ball handlers at the NBA level. With that pace comes turnovers, Dave.
Yeah.
And that was the story of this game. It was the story of the third quarter. It was the other side of the coin of Zach LaVine's story tonight, because he started 5 for 5 from 3. He ended up with this 27 points in this game. We're like, hey, Zach LaVine, awesome. The other side of that Zach LaVine coin, 7 of the Bulls' 21 turnovers as a team. That contributes also to what Perdue was just talking about when you're saying, hey, let's play fast, but how did we get up 11 fewer shots than our opponents did? The Bulls lost the turnover battle 21-11.
Yeah, that's bad.
Points off turnovers was a bloodbath.
And when we were watching it, it was like I kept waiting for the knockout punch. This knockout punch from the Pelicans could have came earlier in this game, because they were attacking the Bulls all day long, making them turn the ball over. They played how I talked about I wanted to see the Bulls play. They just played a little more reckless out there. I mean, like, it was controlled chaos the way they were playing. I mean, but the help defense was great. They weren't allowing shots at the rim. They were always contesting every single thing. Herb Jones was absolutely everywhere. And then when they would make the play, they're right back down the floor, either attempting a 3, getting an alley-oop, or getting a layup and scoring at the rim, which is why, like you said, it was a bloodbath watching that in transition. Zach LaVine did Zach LaVine stuff, but we saw the Zach LaVine that we all kind of know, the good and the bad. So we saw him going crazy earlier, 5 for 5 from the 3-point line, talking plenty of trash to the fans out there. It was great to see. And then we saw the Zach LaVine that we've been watching for a while, which is a guy who would dribble the ball too much, start thinking a little too much, and start turning the ball over and I mean just really bad turnovers, just doing it constantly. And I said over there to you guys, and Katie heard me, like, this is like Rex Grossman stuff out here. Like, all these turnovers was insane, and they weren't good. I mean, it's not like there was such a thing as a good turnover, but there's definitely a thing as a really bad turnover. You know what I'm saying? Like, and there was some really, really bad turnovers by him. But again, I'm not going to put it all on him, because like we said, they had 21 of them. I mean, Zach LaVine, I mean, and just to go into the 3-point shooting real quick, like we just talked about, like it was just 10 of 34. So that means Zach was 5 of 8. That means the rest of the team is 5 of 26.
Woo!
You know what I'm saying? Like that's that's not good, you know, and that is a problem.
Chris Dunn.
We talked about them in those attempts and how they need to get those attempts up. And this looked like the Bulls I remember from last year. That 3-point shots and then going on a drought of shooting 3-point shots. Because at one point, Matt, during the fourth, I asked you how many attempts do you think they had? I believe they had 23 at the half. They had 6 up until that point when I asked you that question.
Yeah.
So they weren't taking a ton of threes in the second half. They got away from that. They weren't playing with the pace.
They finished with 34. So they took 23 in the first half, 11 in the second.
Exactly. They weren't playing with pace. Guys weren't getting the ball who I felt needed to handle the basketball so they can set up their offense or at least start to run it. Zach would just get it and go, you know, and like, nope, I got it. Let's get out of here. Here's a pass into your shins. Here's Patrick Williams with a ball. Oh, I forgot how to dribble. Here's a turnover. So it was a lot of things that they just kind of went back to and reverted to. It was like watching what I have been watching. It definitely what I was seeing in the preseason. It was definitely what I'm used to watching as far as the Bulls and the mistakes they were making.
No kidding. Look, I can't ignore what I'm seeing as the majority of comments in the live chat on YouTube right now. And shout out everybody for being here. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't done it yet. Ding. A lot of Bulls fans upset with Patrick Williams. I see a lot of the number 90 million with a $sign in front of it in these comments. I know, Perdue, you said, like, should we even buy a target? Because, like, hey, classic Patrick Williams game. Was he out there? Was he not? I'm curious. We'll definitely ask Goat about this when he joins us later. I don't know if you guys noticed. Io closed.
Yes.
Like, before Billy pulled the starters and waved the white flag, Io was out there instead of Patrick.
Yeah.
Playing the 4.
Yes. Yes.
Patrick Williams.
Yes.
6 points, 2 of 7, 1 of 4 from downtown. Hey, 3 big old rebounds.
3 big ones.
3 big old rebounds. You know what the other 4 Bulls starting 5 had rebounds wise? Zach had 5. Vooch had 11. Kobe White had 8.
8 rebounds, dog.
And Josh Giddey had 5. Jalen Smith also out-rebounded Patrick Williams off the bench with 5. Ayo Dosunmu out-rebounded Patrick Williams off the bench with 4.
He out-rebounded Lonzo Ball by 1. That's a problem for me. A guy with a knee who ain't played in 2 years had 2 rebounds and you had 3. I mean, it's just bad. And it was the dribbling, Matt. Like, it looked like he forgot how to dribble. That turnover he had, he crossed himself over.
In order to forget something, you first have to know it, Dave. I don't want to get too technical on you.
Dude, rookie season Pat did not look like this as far as dribbling was concerned and actually handling of the ball. This is I don't know who this is.
I mean, there's so many comments upset with Pat.
Can we go to
well, I was just you
fantasy. This is pretty good. Fantasy cast.
Okay.
Oh yeah, that's the one I was going to. Will I would love to see P. Will in public hype myself up to say something, then chicken out last minute because he's huge, but then still tell my friends that I had told him off. I think that's kind of how all Bulls fans feel about Patrick right now. Jason Ashland, hey, shout out to a familiar name in the comments. Patrick Williams, 5 years, $90 million. Seriously, you tell me the Bulls couldn't have spent that $90 million on other players that wouldn't be better than him? Show me a list of those players who wanted to come and play here. And then we can have that conversation. Flex Dick saying P. Will, no excuses tour was for before you paid him. Dude got his paper. We're stuck with his lame bleep now. Yeah, I mean, for all of the things we talked about pregame, what's game 1 about? What's this season about?
Yeah.
Obviously, signing Patrick to that 5-year deal was a big part of all this.
Look, man. Okay, I'm sorry, I see the sign.
Yeah. Before we take a quick break, just a reminder, hey, you see this dope new Diehard t-shirt that I'm rocking?
I do.
Fresh off the press.
What?
You can get one, too. You can pick it as your free CHGO Diehard shirt when you sign up to become a Diehard because right now, exclusive limited time offer, we are lowering the price to sign up for your first year of CHGO membership. Instead of $6.67 a month, per usual, $4 a month. For 12 months, $4 a month to sign up to become a CHGO Diehard. Perks on perks on perks, the best of the coverage from our crew of incredible beat reporters and journalists.
Yes.
Access to that Diehards Only Discord and so much more. What are you waiting for? Limited time offer right now. Act now. Limited time. short.
A lot of people signing up.
$4 a month. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back, break down more of this game with y'all out there in Bulls Nation right after this.
Will Perdue, what time is it?
Is it game time?
I've heard it was.
That was producer Patrick Williams' impression.
Yes, it was. That was three. That was his 3 rebounds. 6 points, 3 rebounds. That's all good. It's all good, Will.
I thought maybe it was a trick question.
No. Game time, Will Perdue. It's game time. And guess what? They've got a cool new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. That makes it easier to get tickets to your favorite live events. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff to show you only the incredible deals on great seats so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. They make it easier to save more money on sports, concerts, comedy, theater events, whatever you like. They'll save you some money. Of course, they got the all-in pricing. Of course, they got the lowest price guarantee. Shout out to Will. But, of course, they got the Matt Peck and Big Dave favorite, the seat views. We need to know where we stretching our legs. Where's the concession stand? Where is the bathroom? We need to know these things. And they will show you that on Game Time. And also, they got the Game Time ticket coverage, y'all. Your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the ticketing industry. So take that guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download Game Time today, create an app, and use that code CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Terms apply.
That's CHGO. Get yourself $20 off your first purchase.
Terms apply. Patrick Williams.
Download to Game Time today. Because, Matt Pat, please. What time is it?
Except for Pat. Today's show brought to you also by Roback. You all know by now all the great different kinds of gear you can get at Roback. It's quite simply best fit and best feel. The quality of the gear just speaks for itself. Their performance polos perform better in the heat than any other polos. They have moisture-wicking technology so the polo doesn't stick to you and gives you a nice stretch. Their everyday shorts are also perfect for the combo for a day on the move, and then also maybe going out to dinner with some friends, your loved ones, looking nice, looking clean, but also having the comfort of that elastic waistband. Is there a better two-word combination in the English language? Elastic waistband.
Well,
I can't wait to put my sweats on later tonight.
Yeah, that's true.
With fall here.
You guys aren't even old enough to be needing elastic waistband.
Do you hear the sounds I make when I get up out of a chair?
Seriously, Will. We'll say, continue.
What better item to prepare? I grueled for 13 years in the NBA on these knees, Will. What better item to prepare for the season than adding one of their performance hoodies to your closet? They're the softest items we own. Can't take them off, even now in the Chicago weather. They are incredibly versatile, these shorts. Wear them with a polo untucked or a tee on the move. Again, that elastic waistband, so comfortable, so nice and stretchy with the fabric. Also, the performance hoodies, designed for comfort, built for activity. My goodness. Here's what you can do to get yourself a little discount.
What's that?
Use promo code CHGO Bulls at Roback.com and get 20% off your first order.
Done.
That's RHOBACK, Roback.com. Promo code CHGO Bulls 20 to get 20% off all of their polos, hoodies, and shorts on your first order. Make sure you check out Roback.com. They'll always get you ready for whatever travels and activities you have on deck.
Shout out to the believer who said, I came for the ads.
That's right. Oh, we got a Joey in the comments.
Hey,
I see Young Spathis. I see you. Oh, I'm going to cry.
That's for you.
For the record, Joe, Patrick Williams, not first bucket tonight.
That was
I thought about it.
Yes. Cross his mind.
Are those things really Velcro?
Or what things really Velcro?
Your shoes.
My Birks?
The Birks.
No, they're buckles.
Did you see the golden
Yeah,
buckle?
You think I wear Velcro shoes? How immature do you think I am?
No, somebody right there.
Yeah, the
Lebowski
chat is
5
saying
said
that
Peck has
Peck
Velcro
has
shoes.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Starting rumors and lies.
Birks. Real authentic Birks.
Mm-hmm.
Or what do you call them? The Moses one?
Moses threes.
Moses threes. That's right, baby. Hey, it was above 50 degrees when I headed to the studio today.
Yes.
Only so many of those days left.
He needs to come in one day with just a cloth on and his bird.
And the staff.
Katie's not a fan of that idea.
Katie said,
Honestly,
hold up.
Never mind.
Maybe she shouldn't have a mic.
So, look, not to overreact, but hey, it's night one of the regular season.
Sure.
It's fun to overreact. I see people in the comments. Somebody said like it's unacceptable that Mata's only played, before garbage time, not even 3 minutes in this game tonight. He was the 11th man in the rotation. Mm-hmm. Other people saying, hey, Jalen Smith had himself a hell of a game.
He did.
Maybe give him some more minutes. He played just 17 minutes off the bench compared to Patrick Williams, 24 minutes. And Jalen Smith poured in 15 points to Pat's 6. Big Dave, overreaction or fair to after game 1 say, hey, Billy, maybe switch up that starting lineup.
Fair.
Wow. Okay. Let's go.
I told you it's the no excuses tour. And this is what I mean, dude. There are no excuses anymore for you getting 6 points and 3 rebounds. What do I have to fall back on? What leg do I have to stand on to defend that?
The broken one.
Come on. Which means I'm going to fall and bust my ass. Because there's nothing to stand on, all right? There's nothing to stand on with that. So, yes, I would definitely be looking at it. I'll be thinking about it like, man, should I? It would definitely be crossing my mind. Jalen Smith, but I wouldn't do it with Jalen Smith because, I don't want to move him from that center position. He played very well. He knows what to do at that position.
Knock down a 3.
Knock down a 3.
First one of the bowl.
Roll, get to the bucket, draw contact, get to the foul line. Like, he actually gets to the foul line, which is wild that he can actually do that because I'm not used to seeing stuff like that. But shout out to him for being able to do that. And he got to the line 4 times. Like, oh gosh. So yeah, man, like that's the stuff I need. And that's the stuff I'm looking for is a guy who just wants to play with some kind of edge and act like he's got a pulse when he's out there. I haven't seen the pulse from Patrick. All right. I've seen him just look like, do I like basketball? I don't know. I'm confused when I watch him down. 6 points and 3 rebounds is not good enough for that.
Yes.
And I'm not going to make no excuses for it. So, yes, absolutely, I will be thinking about it. It will be crossing my mind for sure because he'll be on a really, really, really short leash.
Perdue, our in-house NBA vet, what effect do you think it would have on Pat? I mean, as someone who experienced coaches coming and sending a message to a player by maybe revoking their status as a starter, benching them, whatever it may be, if Billy does something as bold as taking Patrick Williams out of the starting lineup Friday.
Not going to happen.
Yeah,
not going to happen. Okay.
Listen, you got to remember something, okay?
Mm-hmm. Talk slow to me, Will.
Talk slow?
Talk slow to me. I want to hear it all.
Should I do my Barry White?
Oh, I don't think they can handle it out there, Will. They ain't ready for all that.
Can we dim the lights?
That's Teddy P.
Hey, we got to provide entertainment.
You're right about that. Pull out the bleachers.
What's the ultimate goal here?
Win?
No.
Depends on who you ask.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, we development.
Yeah,
okay.
Development.
Yeah.
And I'm not just talking about P. Will.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I think when you look at this right here, okay, this is one game.
Mm-hmm.
We could sit here and say Zach LaVine's got to do a better job of taking care of the ball. Patrick Williams, he's got to play like his hair's on fire. Vooch, actually a solid game.
Yep.
21 and 11.
Called it.
Okay. Kobe White needs to shoot the ball better.
Mm-hmm.
Josh Giddey, awareness. Lonzo Ball, solid. 4 assists in 13 minutes.
Yeah.
Jalen Smith, outstanding. Io, this is who Io is.
Yeah.
We can go down the thing. But the players that, I know Io for a fact, even though you look at what, 25 minutes, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, I guarantee you he's already thinking about the mistakes he made and what he needs to do to correct them.
Mm-hmm.
That's part of the reason why he's gotten to where he's gotten. But coaches think of things in groups, right? So when I mean that, whether coaches, every coach is different, whether it's a group of 5 games, a group of 10 games, it's a group. I always use the number 20 because of how it was explained to me.
Okay.
When I was with the Bulls, remember they traded Stacy to Minnesota and brought in Luke Longley.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And at the moment, I was, in the starting lineup. Phil brought me into the office and said, listen, we traded for the guy. We got to see what he can do. We're going to give him 20 games, and then we're going to make an assessment.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? I can promise you that even though the 3 of us are sitting here and saying we've seen this act before,
Oh.
the Bulls, coaches, staff they're basically, that's in the past.
Mm-hmm.
They've cleaned the slate. Okay, this is game one. On a scale of 1 to 10, I'm not even sure where you would put it, but it's not good.
Yeah.
Okay, and it quite honestly is unacceptable. So if he was a pinch hitter, he'd be 0 for 1.
Yeah.
But they're not gonna sit here and say, well, we saw this last year, so we're immediately going to change and put him off the bench. I guarantee you it's going to be a minimum of 10 games before they make any type of assessment, any type of change whatsoever.
Okay. I hear you, Will, and you have obviously the experience of that. Hey, this is what Phil said, 20-game sample. That's what we're going to use to evaluate. I'm going to counter that counter with the counter. You ready? Because you're saying,
counselor,
got to be at least 10 before they do anything drastic like taking Pat out of the lineup. Y'all, let's journey back to the beginning of the 23-24 Chicago Bulls season, shall we? Do you remember how many games it was before Patrick Williams was replaced in the starting lineup by Torrey Craig? Not because of injury, but because Billy saw what Patrick was doing and saying, we got to change this. Anyone care to venture a guess how many games before Pat got benched last season?
Was it 4?
6?
5.
5. I was close.
5 games is all it took for Billy Donovan to make a change and tell Patrick Williams to grab some bench at the start of last season.
Yeah. Yep.
Fast forward a year, we just paid him $90 million. I don't want to hear dog shit about a sample size.
Yeah.
Perform or don't. Development, I hear you. It's about development, but there are other people who might develop.
Yeah. He's had his 20 games several years, and I've seen it. And they might be looking at it differently, as this is a new year, a new time, and a new everything. But for me, it's the same old story because I'm seeing the same old numbers and the same old way he's playing. I haven't seen a change. If there was a change, Will, in how he played tonight, even if he put up these same numbers, if there was the change in how he played, how he approached it, how he attacked it, how he played defense more aggressively, you know what I mean? If he did it, those kind of things, then I'd be more inclined to be like, okay, he just had a bad game. I can see that. This just felt like a regular Patrick Williams game that I've been looking at for the entire time.
Beat-up classic tonight. Are you kidding me?
The 3 rebounds.
6 points, 3 rebounds?
3 rebounds, baby.
He'll put that on his gravestone. and hopefully many years and decades from now.
But that's what stops me from
you
that.
Can start etching that right now.
That's what stops me from that, like giving like a 10-game, 20-game kind of sample, is because I've seen that sample and I haven't seen that change. And the way he plays, bro, like has not allowed me to say, okay, I'm going to give you a little more grace on that. The grace period for me, I'm speaking for myself. The grace period for me is over with that. I can't take no more 6 points and 3 rebounds and no effort and no just real fire. Like you said, playing with your hair on fire. Like, at least show me that. And you go 0 for 5, 0 for 6, 3 rebounds, 3 assists. But you were out there going for it. You know what I mean? And really trying to get it. There was one rebound he got, and I was like, oh, look at Pat getting the rebound. And Sarah said, well, yeah, that's because everybody else went down the floor. It was like, yeah, no, that's true. That's exactly how it went. So for me, it's just seeing the same things over and over again. I feel like I'm the fool to start saying, well, no, keep giving it to him and let's see. He's got, I don't know, man. He hasn't earned it for me to get that much more time to do this in the starting lineup.
Can I give you 2 words?
Please.
Serenity now.
Serenity now.
Well,
insanity later.
serenity for like half a second before we transition to, we got to talk about Josh Giddey, the other player that Bulls fans really stressed about.
We got to break first. We got to break.
All right. You know what? Let's take a quick break there. We'll come back and circle back to that thought. Serenity now, please. Hit the like button. We're going to read some ads. We'll be right back on CHGO Bulls postgame.
Beer. Oh, yes. All I had to do was say it, and he picked it right on up because it's time to embrace chill, ladies and gentlemen, and you should too by grabbing a frosty cold Coors Light, because between work, social media, and the choices life throws our way, like watching this wonderful team, it's no wonder we're more worked out. Coors Light celebrates rising above and choosing a chill mindset. Why not turn that rained out barbecue into the Will, the GOAT, Gottlieb, and Will Perdue 215th annual karaoke house party held at Matt Peck's house.
That's what I mean.
Or after a tough loss, settle scores with the ice cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill and choose Coors Light because it is mountain cold refreshment. Because when those mountains turn blue, oh yes, you know what to do. It's cold lager, cold filtered, and cold package for a smoother finish. So choose that chill mindset. Crack open that frosty cold Coors Light because it's crisp and refreshing as the Colorado Rays. Make the most of those times to choose chill. Chill Coors Light. Get it delivered straight to your door via Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. It's CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Lebowski 5. That's the new CHGO Bulls shirt idea. Serenity now. That's right. Continuity later. Today's show also brought to you by our friends at Zbiotics. Y'all, let's face it. After a night with some drinks involved, I don't bounce back the next day like I used to. I'm guessing if you're not a young spring chicken like Sarah, you don't either. That is until, of course, I found out about these Zbiotics.
Tell me more.
Pre-alcohol. Zbiotics pre-alcohol probiotic drink is the world's first genetically engineered probiotic invented by PhD scientists. Smart. To tackle rough mornings after drinking. Here's how it works. When you drink alcohol, gets converted into a toxic byproduct in your gut. It's this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day after drinking. Mm-hmm. Pre-alcohol produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. Just remember to make Zbiotics your very first drink of the night before you crack your first icy cold Coors Light. Drink responsibly. You'll feel your best tomorrow. I kept hearing about pre-alcohol, wondered if it was actually worth the hype. I tried it. Now that I've tried it, I stand by it. With their GMO technology, they release different products that help address toxic byproducts of modern living in your gut. So go to Zbiotics.com/CHGO Bulls to learn more and get 15% off your first order when you use that promo code CHGO Bulls at checkout. Zbiotics is backed with a 100% money-back guarantee. So if you're unsatisfied for any reason, they'll refund your money. No questions asked. No. Not even, hey, should we bench Patrick Williams? Not even that question. They'll just give you your money back. Zbiotics. I heard a jingle.
You heard that jingle jangle?
I heard a jingle.
Can I ask you guys a question real quick?
You want to do, okay.
Since we just talked about Coors Light and Zbiotics, what is your favorite food after a late night binge drinking?
A greasy beef.
A what?
Like, soaks up the alcohol. A greasy beef. A Chicago-style beef sandwich.
Are you talking about in the morning or just
that night before you go to bed?
The night before you go to bed.
Same answer.
You just have half at night and half in the morning?
Yeah.
1 and 1. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
is there a particular kind or just you talking about Italian beef?
Italian beef.
Okay.
Yeah, Italian beef with Jard.
Jardiniere.
Hey.
I'm
teaching him.
Yeah, but do you juice it up? Do you dip it?
Always dipped. Always dipped. If it is not dipped, I send it back. I'm an overly polite customer. I used to work in food service for years of my life. I tip well. I treat service staff well. They deserve to be treated well and tipped well.
Yes.
If you do not dip my beef sandwich, it'll come zinging right back at your head.
right behind the hat.
So verbal abuse.
Yeah, we can get Goat's thoughts on this too, right, Katie?
What's yours?
I don't know. It might be quesadilla or something, or I might eat a fish sandwich or
fish sandwich.
Yeah, bro, like a fried cod joint. Like, yeah, it's fire with some cheese on it. On point. Put some fries on that bad boy too.
Okay,
yeah, it's on point.
We got to circle someone else.
Give me your sub. Give me a veggie sub.
Hit the Goat Talk hotline for the love of God.
Onion rings.
Huh? Onion ring, yeah.
That's where it's the go!
Joining us on that Go Talk hotline from the Smoothie King Center.
Oh, the one and only.
Will Gottlieb. Goat, very important first question before we dive into tonight's action. Mr. Perdue here was curious after we read some Coors Light and Zbiotic ads. What would you prefer?
You just said burrito.
Oh, you're here. Okay, there you go.
Yeah, I'll eat that too.
Burrito.
Wow.
Give me a burrito.
Here's the important question. Is since he's in New Orleans, on a Wednesday night. Look out! Is Callie on the rampage?
You going out to
Always.
Bourbon Street with
You
Joe?
going out tonight?
He said always.
I'll talk to him tomorrow. I'll talk to him afterwards.
Okay, all right.
No, but are you going out this evening?
No, I'm gonna go right.
Hard-working
Hanging out
man
with
right here.
PR Josh over here. He wants to say hi, but he's too shy.
What up, Josh?
What up, Josh?
What up, Josh?
Hi, Josh.
Everybody says hi.
Much love, buddy. What did Josh think about Zach's 7 turnovers? I'm just kidding. Goat, your thoughts on the crazy night Zach LaVine had? Reminded everyone of his all-star caliber, starting 5 of 5 from downtown, finishes with 27, does have 7 turnovers. What was your read on Zach's game, and did y'all get a chance to talk to him after?
Yeah, I mean, this was like just the microcosm of Zach's career, right? It was like, this dude is a special scorer when he gets going. He can score with anybody. He can just get as hot as you possibly can and make 5 threes in a quarter. And then there's going to be times where the offense bogs down a little bit and you ask him to do a little too much, and then it gets a little sloppy and he turns the ball over. Or when the defense is really keyed in on him, he can't really do that. And so we saw, I think, the best version of Zach in that second quarter, in the first half, really. And then we saw some of the areas where he really struggles. I think the defensive end too, not just him. I mean, the whole team really struggled on that end. So, yeah, I think it was a game where, it was clearly Zach LaVine and just like who he is as a player. And that's fine. Like, we're not expecting him to be, LeBron James out there where he's like in command of every moment of every game. But I think that's also, it speaks to the position that the organization puts him in. And that's really why I say the microcosm of his career is because that's what they asked of him for all those years from 2016, 2017 until, DeMar came. And it was like, can Zach be the guy? And I think we all know the answer to that, but it's just, that's the position that they're in right now. So yeah, we talked to him a little bit. I think he wants to do the right thing. He's trying to, take the right shots, do it within the flow of the offense. But like when you get hot and you're a scorer the way he is, like you want to get shots up. And so, I don't think it was like a terrible Zach game. Obviously there were some mistakes that you'd want back. And it was just good to see him really be able to still score with the best of them. But I think it's just kind of like the position that this team is in right now. They just don't have a primary number one creator that can get you steady, efficient, consistent offense. And that's how it's going to go. You're going to have quarters where it gets hot and things are looking good and you're in the game. And then, you're going to turn the ball over 4 out of 5 straight times and you're going to, get yourself into a 10, 15-point hole.
Patrick Williams, 2 questions. First question, what? Second question, why?
I mean, so I don't know exactly where you want me to go with that, but I'll just go because it was an interesting Pack game. Obviously played 24 minutes, had a 3 off rip pretty early on in the game, and then had a turnover off his foot, not too long after that. Didn't really rebound very well. And so this is just kind of, I think, the Pat Williams experience. And I know like he has potential to be a great player, but I also think that like the expectations of, or even the pressure of like, it's now or never for him. Like, I don't think he has to be a star offensive creator anymore, or like even a very good one. I think the Bulls are basically paying him to be a high level 3-and-D player. They're paying him kind of like to be a Dorian Finney-Smith type. And obviously we hope that he becomes a little bit more than that offensively, but I think he just is going to need some time and patience. This is obviously a new role for him, which is, I think, exciting, and he's going to have more opportunity, but he's also like not the focal point, and they're not putting the ball in his hands to let him create every time down. And so I just think that every time we talk about him, it's like Patrick Williams is doing nothing like we see in the comments here, or Patrick Williams has to be the star player. And like, we have to find a middle ground with him of just like, he's a good defensive player. He's not a great player, but like, that's okay. It would be great if he was, but that's just not who he is right now. And maybe that changes, but I think like that kind of added pressure is probably it's warping expectations and making it a little bit hard to evaluate what he actually gives you, which is solid 3-and-D play. And I think we saw that at times tonight. Obviously, Ayo closed both halves in front of him, and Billy was saying the reason why he did that was because he wanted to put 4 guards out there so that they could run up and down a little bit more, space out the floor. But obviously that comes at a sacrifice where Brandon Ingram is posting up Kobe on the block, or Zach on the block, and just absolutely cooking. So that's another fatal flaw in the roster construction right now. As we've talked about, this is not a finished product, but there are some serious weaknesses and points where if you're an opposing offense, you can really pick. And I was like, joking with Darnell and Cowley tonight as we were watching the game. It's like, why would CJ McCollum bring a screener into the play when he's got, Giddey or Kobe on an island? It's like, because you can bring Vooch into the action too. And like the Bulls just have a lot of holes defensively. I think it's not like a criticism of any individual. It's just that they need to be better collectively. And I think it starts at the point of attack, like Will talked about yesterday, of just like, bearing down and not letting your guy blow past you. And then it's, where's Vooch in coverage? And then it's where is the weak side low man and him sliding over to defend against those lobs. And just none of it was very good. And then on top of it, you're turning the ball over every time and just giving up a bunch of transitions. So it was just not a good game for them. It was pretty sloppy. And I think all up and down, like you can find errors with it, but I don't think that it it all lies on, to take this back to Patrick. Like it's not Patrick's fault for not, evolving into a superstar or becoming like a superstar stopper. This team is just like not constructed that way. And I think part of that is intentional.
So you mentioned all that, and of course we see the very first play of the game. They empty out the backside, and then they dump it to Dave's favorite player for a layup. And we're like, wait a minute, seen that before. Mm-hmm. But we were talking. Let's go back to yesterday. What did you see? What do you see the purpose of this season being?
I mean, to me, it should be about development and evaluation and protecting the pick. And, I don't think that is the main motive right now. Otherwise, we would have seen a lot more of Modest Buzelis tonight, who only played about 3 minutes. So there's that. But also at the same time, like, even if you are going to say, we want to put our best players out there and give ourselves a chance to win every game, like the players that Billy has to work with are not, competing at a championship level. They're just not. And again, it's not like a criticism of any of those guys. That's the construction of the team. And so I think when you are fighting those two things against one another, when you're playing your veterans, and I'm looking at the box score now, Zach had 17 shots, Vooch had 12. Like those are two of your three highest field goal attempt guys. Like, is that really benefiting the young guys to where they can start to develop? No, but it's also not really like helping you win games now if those are your two best players. And so it's just when these things are all at odds, I think that's how you end up kind of stuck in no man's land. And that's where I fear that this is heading. But, it's going to take some young player development to get them out of this. And I think as the season wears on, like this is game one, it's a long season. I think these guys are going to get more and more minutes, feel more and more comfortable, and have more opportunity as the season goes on.
Well, listen, regardless of how they play, okay, it's just one of 82. This is where now to me, as a former player, thanks. Billy can only say so much. The other coaches can only say so much. We touched on this. We actually touched on this in the pregame. Who's the leader of this team now that's talking to these guys about how, the effort that we put forth tonight is not acceptable because we didn't push the pace like we were supposed to. We had way too many holes on defense. I understand what the organization is trying to do, but this isn't who we are as players. I'm not saying it's already, we're having a team. Didn't they have a team meeting after the first game last year?
Last year,
yeah,
yes.
Game one.
I don't think we need a team meeting, but who's the guy that's kind of like, hey, this is unacceptable. We can't just rely on Billy to be that guy that does that. That's just not Billy's DNA. It's who is that guy that's going to, so we can maybe see a little bit of a better effort and a change of mentality when we play Milwaukee on Friday.
Well, I think, again, that's the problem with coming out and saying we are playing for the integrity of the game. We're going to win every game in front of us. And then also putting out a team where that's going to be a challenge. And so you're kind of setting yourself up for failure when you set the expectation at we're trying to win games and then you don't put yourself in a position to do so. Now you have to answer those questions. Whereas if they had come out and said this year is going to be about developing the young guys and putting ourselves in the best position to be successful, 2, 3, 5 years down the line, now none of us are concerned about how the defense looks on any given night because that's not the point of the year. And so I think when you're sending those mixed messages, that's kind of how you end up trying and failing to ask for accountability because it doesn't seem like they are kind of in a position to do that when, the season is what it is. And so obviously you want to develop an infrastructure. And I think that's actually a real key for this front office and for this team is to like build a system where you can plug guys in and they can find success. I think that starts on the defensive end. I think they want to do that. But they were just kind of talking about the point of attack, being better in space, not turning the ball over. I mean, so much of it was just like DeJounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Herb Jones, Javonte Green getting out in transition, getting dunks, getting layups, or just getting in advantage situations. And now it's easy for them to create. And now you're taking it out under the basket and now you're walking it up. And if you're walking it up, that means you're in a slower half court offense. And that's where, Zach can have some trouble at times, or Kobe can have some trouble at times without the assistance of DeMar to create those advantages for you. And so to me, it just kind of comes back to like, what are your goals and motivations with the year? And I think you can build an infrastructure while also kind of doing this, half rebuild, half, compete thing that they're trying to do. But like, I guess just like the point of that whole rant is just, if the season was, more about what are the long-term implications of each game, then I don't think we're as concerned about the minor details here and there about what's happening defensively. And they know they need to tighten stuff up. And obviously, I think they will get better at it, but I think it's just going to take a while with this group, given the personnel that they have, where you're not really set up to succeed on that end specifically.
Real quick, go like 20 seconds because we got a break and we got to let you go right. Really curious to get your take on Giddey's game tonight, the big question mark that entered this Bulls rebuild.
It was kind of crazy hearing the New Orleans fans boo him literally every time he touched the ball, like very loudly. I thought he was okay. He got packed at the rim a few times, but he also drove a lot and got fouled a couple times, which is a big thing that I want to see from him. The jump shot obviously is going to be a work in progress, but he makes the right reads. I think just putting him in a position to like make the skip pass to the weak side corner on these like slot pick and rolls is really valuable, and that can open up stuff. So I think it's going to be a work in progress, but it wasn't like, anything way different than what we've seen from him over these preseason games.
Appreciate you, Goat. Safe travels home. We'll talk to you soon.
Hey, did the Goat shave?
Probably.
Clean.
Hey, look at it.
Clean.
Hey.
Not the quaff, though.
Look at that.
On point, baby.
One quick break. We'll come back to wrap up with our final thoughts on tonight's game and yours. We got some super chats we got to get to. That's next. Ray! Tonight's post game brought to you by our friends at Ray Chevrolet. Shout out to Ray himself.
My guy.
Say pros to bigger and better savings on your next vehicle because Cartoberfest is going on now at Ray Chevy. Head in today to shop their huge selections on new Chevy models and new low prices. Right now, you can take $3,000 up to $12,000 off MSRP on most Chevy models, or cruise through fall your own way and shop over 125 different vehicles priced under $20,000. Visit our partners this October at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. They've got one of the largest inventories in the entire Midwest. And if you've heard of Ray, then of course you've heard of that Ray's Price Promise, their guarantee to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees. Ever! That means the incredible prices we're talking about right now on this ad, the incredible prices you see on their website, those are the prices you will pay when you go to the dealership and say, I want that car for that price. Ray and his team will say, you got it, mister, and or Mrs., and or whoever you are. But also, let me find you some more savings while we're at it.
Why not?
That's the Ray's Price Promise. Shop Cartoberfest all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake and raychevrolet.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are sponsored by the Chicago Sports Network, the new home of the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox games. CHSN will broadcast more than 300 live games per year across the Blackhawks, Bulls, and White Sox, and will feature a full lineup of original Chicago-focused sports content. They're also Chicago-based, Chicago-built, and Chicago to the bone. And they're bringing it to every corner of Chicago across 77 neighborhoods and beyond. At CHSN, Chicago comes first. Visit CHSN.com for more info on how to watch the Bulls, the Hawks, and Sox games all season long. And tune in to our pre- and post games for all of those teams here at CHGO.
Purdue, you said in pregame that you wanted to watch a little zone defense at some point tonight.
He did.
We did get a little of it.
A little bit.
Shout out to Joe Mama, who threw us a $5 super chat in the comments saying point of attack defense with Giddey, drop back defense with Vooch. It's not going to work. Io needs to start. What did you make of the Bulls' effort on the defensive end tonight?
I mean, at least they changed it up and tried something different and just didn't stick to the man defense. And I actually thought their half court defense was halfway decent. It was their transition defense that killed
bad tonight.
Yeah.
But when they did get back and get set, I thought they did a pretty good job.
Mm-hmm.
It's just at this, and we used to talk about this at NBC Sports Chicago a lot. When you don't necessarily have the skill set, what I mean by that is that maybe your lateral movement is lacking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe you don't have the best vision. Maybe an inability to kind of recognize what's going on. But whatever your deficiency may be, you can make up for that with effort. This is, as a former player that has kind of been in some similar situations.
Mm-hmm.
This is where you struggle sometimes to push yourself over that ledge when you feel like the organization is trying to accomplish something different than what you're trying to accomplish. Because you can have those internal battles.
Yeah.
Right? So the interesting thing was, like you were talking about, the Pelicans never give that knockout punch.
Mm-hmm.
So the Bulls' effort allowed them to kind of hang around, considering all the mistakes, the turnovers, the lack of ability to knock down threes consistently, the lack of defense on the perimeter, lack of transition defense. So I think that, I like the fact that they were hanging around. They just didn't implode. I mean, you saw some teams already get their ass handed to them in game one.
Yeah.
Hey, Knicks. Hey, Heat.
Bulls were this close to keeping this single-digit final score.
Now, I know Embiid didn't play, but Milwaukee looked a lot better.
They did.
That's who the Bulls are playing on Friday.
Yeah, easy.
I think Dame Leonard. Dame's he's out to prove something.
Yeah.
But my point is that, we can't sit here and say this was a total wash. There were
Agreed.
There were a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
But you at least saw the effort. You saw, and to me that says that they still care.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of times you can watch a game and just be like, they've already checked out.
Mm-hmm.
They're not invested. At least they don't care about that game.
Mm-hmm.
There's no ifs, ands, or buts. They're still in that position. But this is the turmoil that's always going to be happening in that locker room.
Mm-hmm.
Because let me just throw out a hypothetical.
Toss it.
If you want to sit here and you say Zach's stock tonight after this game, I'd say is up.
Sure.
Okay. The league, the people in the league, they know who Zach is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're not going to be asking him to handle the ball that much, so they won't be as worried about the 7 turnovers.
Right. What they want to see is he healthy?
Right.
Can he play 30-plus minutes a night?
Check.
When I asked you during the game, I said, what would the Los Angeles Lakers be if Zach LaVine was on that roster?
A contender.
A more competitive team than they are now?
Mm-hmm.
A contender.
A contender, yeah.
Because now you got 3.
Well, they still got Bronny on the roster.
You got 3 legitimate scorers.
Yeah.
Okay, and
3 dudes that
whether
get
you like
30.
LeBron or not, he still is one of the better players in the league.
Yes.
We can argue about that later, Peck.
Matt, he's not lying.
That boy's good?
He's not lying.
But this is when I talk about that internal strife, that because what if Zach starts to play well and they win a few games and then boom, they trade him.
Okay.
All right. And then it's like, as a player, you're like, what exactly are we doing here? What are we trying to accomplish?
Mm-hmm.
We get a little momentum. We start to feel good about ourselves, and you trade the guy. Now we're taking steps backwards. It's going to be a grind.
Everyone knows what the deal is, though.
No. They do. They use the word reshaping.
Yeah.
Okay. But this is where, and not to sound selfish, but this is where these players have to find they have to motivate themselves. Okay. Because, again, like you talk about, players aren't dumb. They talk to their agents.
Yeah.
Their boys tell them what's going on. Right. But this is what we talk about. What is the goal of this season? Development. Okay. Because there's going to be a stretch of 5 to 10 games where you're like, yeah, man, what do you call it? This is some bad fun.
Fun bad.
Fun bad. Oh, I apologize.
I ain't do all that.
Interchangeable, really.
Well, fair.
But it because of that, it's going to be, honestly, not much is going to change because it's going to be a roller coaster ride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Because there's going to be frustrations with us. There's going to be frustrations with the fans. There's going to be frustrations with the players.
Yeah.
There's going to be frustrations with the coaching staff. It's just this is a season where you really learn about who's mentally tough and who's not.
Facts. And that's the thing. Well, I think we know what we're looking at.
Mm-hmm.
So when I offer up any kind of criticism, it's always like a player related kind of thing. It's not a team related. I already know what I'm saying, what this team is. We've had these discussions. I get it. But like you said, like asking what this season is about, and like Will said, about development of certain guys. So when I don't see certain development with certain guys like Patrick Williams, then that's where the kind of criticism comes in, or I'm going to be like, what the hell is going on? What are you doing? But I won't offer it up to guys like Kobe White, 10 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists. What I liked about Kobe was he continued to find ways to try to affect the game.
Mm-hmm.
So when his shot wasn't working, what was the play where he missed the shot, but he ran back on the other end and caused the turnover and got the ball back and brought it back down and got the lay-in for Zach? Like, that's what I'm talking about, continuing to do something on the floor and forgetting about the last play and then just continuing playing. Josh Giddey, he was doing that as well. So those are the kind of things I like to see. I saw Ayo doing those kind of things as well. And shout out Nikola Vucevic, who I told you I thought would have a great year this year, had 21 and 11. He was nice out there, executing around the bucket. I believe he only took 2 threes, hit one of them.
Yeah.
Hit one of the threes that he took. I thought he played really well, and I think I expect more of that from Vuce this season. Played 30 minutes and put that up? Yeah, I expect that from him this season because he's going to get those touches in the paint. I thought he should have got more touches, and there were a couple of ones where Zach took the shot and didn't feed Vooch in the post and allow him to work. That's fine. I'm not too mad at stuff like that. But yeah, individually, Will, I didn't have a big problem with everyone out there. I mean, I didn't have a problem with Julian Phillips and how he played out there because, again, it was effort how he got out there. Taylor Horton-Tucker, you know what you're going to get when Taylor Horton-Tucker is out there.
I'm sorry. I can't believe THT got out on that floor before Modest Buzelis did.
Fair.
Are you kidding me?
Man, he was out there. Modest got out there. There it is. Modest got out there, and he played his 4 minutes. I mean, I don't have a lot of criticism for those guys like that. I know what they were going to be and what I'm going to see. Mine was just strictly for watching Patrick Williams and what he was out there doing tonight. And for me, that's just not acceptable. He can't play that way. I don't care if you throw it in the ocean, dog. But continue to shoot, have some, fire in what you're doing out there. And maybe I'm asking for something that he just doesn't have. You know what I mean? Like, you could be, but I'm saying, but you can be cool, and still play with a motor, and play with some fire up under you, man. Like, that can still happen. But yeah, overall, like individually with these guys, they kind of did what I expected outside of the 3-point shooting. Yeah. They kind of did what I thought that they were going to do.
Eco Beans saying Vooch is the only one who played well tonight. Jeff Crook, Vooch, damn good. Somebody else, I think, maybe Connor saying, hey, like, Vooch had a pretty efficient night tonight. Everybody, the rest of the NBA should take notice. Vooch was 8 of 12. 8 of 12 from the field, 11 boards.
Yeah.
People talking about, like, hey, can we build up Zach LaVine's trade? I came into this season being like,
does that mean 1 minute?
You can't.
He's been holding it up for like 3 minutes.
She's also saying you're number one. Well, no, that's not how she says.
No, that's
we know how Katie say you're number one.
You gotta learn to speak producer, Will.
Yeah.
We don't have those IFBs in our ears like we used to back in the day at NBC, where you could just have your producer talk to you in your ear.
She's just as new as I am.
We use sign language here. Head nods, eye contact.
Very important.
And I believe what Katie was just trying to tell us was to give people out there in Bulls Nation one more shout out to become a CHGO diehard. That's what you need to do.
Do it.
Now is the time. It's always the time, but now is the time because limited time only, as I said earlier in tonight's postgame show, $4 a month. $4 a month. You extrapolate that, $48 for a year of some of the best Chicago sports coverage around. I'm going to be honest, the best Chicago sports coverage around.
What is it?
It's one less Starbucks in a week.
There you go. That's what it is.
$4 no holla.
There it is.
Come on. Come on right there.
This is coming from a man who was willing to shell out for pizza tonight. Thank you, sir.
Shout out to you.
Uncle Will's a good man.
Well deserved.
But look, you get access to the Diehards Only Discord. If you're sick of these crazy bots and ads on Twitter when you're trying to engage with your fellow sports fans, hang out in the CHGO Diehard Discord lounges instead. Get a free t-shirt of your choice when you sign up.
Yeah.
Grab this red and black Diehard one that looks like Bulls colors, but it's CHGO instead, so you can feel okay about wearing it in the streets. What else?
Shout out to himself.
You get a 20% discount every time you shop at our ALLCITY merch locker. You get discounts on most all of our fun events that we do in Chicago and everywhere else around the world.
Yes.
Bears were in London with our CHGO crew. They're heading to
And
Arizona for Bears cards with that crew. I don't know. Are you going to cards? You going to Bears cards?
No, I'm not going to go to this one. I got something else I got to do that weekend.
Okay, sure.
Else.
Also, CHGO Bears tailgates every home game this season. You get discounts on those too if you're a diehard, and then you're talking about crazy deals because they're all you can drink, all you can eat at those tailgates.
Ooh, hey.
Come on down, have some fun with your fellow Bears fans.
Free.
And then, of course, the very best of the coverage of our credentialed reporters here, including all the great stuff that our guy Will Gottlieb, hard at work down in New Orleans as we speak tonight.
Shaven.
Gonna fly home. He's gonna drive up to Milwaukee for their second game on Friday. That man's stuff. You want to read it. You want the access. Become a diehard.
Yes.
With that said,
was that a super chat?
There's a big old super chat here from Javen Terry. Ooh, 1999. Shout out to you. Said props to you guys. I hope y'all are getting paid very well. We're getting paid some. I know we want the Bulls to lose, but I can't watch a losing team every night. Thank God for the Bears. Keep up the great work. I'm consuming the Bulls through you guys. Hey, that's
Appreciate
all we
you,
ask.
man. Thank you very much.
Honestly, if you watched tonight's game or even didn't because, antennas are from the 1980s and said, you know what? That's it. Game one, deleted. I'm out. Fine. Don't watch the games. Just watch postgame. Watch pregame.
Right here.
Keep it right here.
Get all this.
We'll keep you updated on what's going on with this very confusing team. But shout out to you. Appreciate the love. Appreciate the super chat. We got some other super chats we haven't gotten to yet, Katie. What else we got? Oh, also, I just noticed this earlier. We have to confirm this. Joe Mama, whose super chat I read earlier, Dave. It's AK. Formerly AK, who always sends us super chats.
Shout out.
That AK.
Changed to Joe Mama.
Probably because of, certain connotations with the name AK around Chicago right now.
Will used to ask all the time, is that AK? Is that him? Hey.
Maybe it is him, and he's just hiding his identity even further.
So he went with Joe Mama?
He throws a lot of money around. Right. I'm pretty sure AK is a well-paid guy. It could be him.
Big spender with the $4.99. Big spenders out here. I see you, boy.
Identity theft is not a joke, Jim.
Joe Mama out of my mouth.
Giddey had a team worst minus 22. I did notice that.
Perdue, man.
Look, plus minus can be a little bit of a wonky stat sometimes, depending on who you're out there on the floor with, rotations. But Giddey was a team worst minus 22 tonight. Also, he highlighted Zach's turnovers. Passive P, Will, 6 points, 3 rebounds. That's not passive P. That's just
non-existent P.
Patrick Williams, 6 and 3. That's his shtick.
You just said PP.
He did say PP. Look, Katie is 12.
What you gonna do, Katie?
But Katie forgets we're 9.
Thank you. I'll be here all week.
Schwo!
Shout out to our buddy Schwo.
What up, boy?
Great to hear everyone's voice again. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. Also, with a super chat saying, how is it CHGO can land the biggest free agent in Will Perdue, but the Bulls can't get any good ones? Good question.
Good question to go out of.
But you are right.
Because I'm working for free? No.
Who had the best free agent offseason signing of the Chicago sports world this year?
I'm real with us.
I think it was us.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
I think it was this guy right here.
It's a fair statement. It's a fair statement, man. We got this guy over here.
I mean, DJ Moore was a trade.
Yeah, true.
Was Keenan Allen a free agent signing?
Yeah.
He was a trade.
He was a trade.
He was a trade too?
He was a trade.
Okay.
He was a trade.
Yeah. I mean, no offense to Jalen Smith.
I was about to say, I think Jalen Smith's a
I mean,
solid sign.
Jalen Smith was out there on the court tonight and grabbed 15, poured in 15 points, grabbed some rebounds.
4 rings.
So,
that wins.
Yeah.
And pizza, just to be clear.
And pizza, right?
And
Yeah.
pizza.
And pizza.
And pizza.
Also, I do like that. I always
Could have bribed these guys.
Hey.
He said, damn it.
I mean, I was trying to bribe you to come convince you to hang out with us this season. I just had nothing to bribe you with.
That's true.
Other than our wonderful company and charm.
It's your personality, man.
Yes.
That's right.
That's how we roll, man.
And hey, a hat. If you running low.
Running low.
Already?
You want to bookend it? You want to
No,
bookend
I'm
it?
good,
Will?
man.
Yeah,
I'm
you
good.
good?
I'm good.
Got them all
You're good?
in?
Okay.
All right.
Just,
All
there's
It's only
always-
game one.
There's always more if you need them.
He said it's only game 1.
I will always and forever love the dichotomy of Bulls fans, and you all exist in our chat every night, and you have different opinions.
Yes.
I think I saw our guy Jeff Crook, maybe it was, in the comments saying, "Yo, this comment section is like crazy with people overreacting to game 1 of the season." And Jason Ashland, another one of our regulars from last season, said something to the effect of, "That's it. I'm done. I'm done with this team. Tonight was horrible. I can't take it anymore. I'm out."
Okay.
So, overreaction.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Actually, we are off tomorrow.
Correct.
Because we did shows Monday, Tuesday, and then obviously pre and post tonight. And the Bulls' first back-to-back of the season is Friday and Saturday.
Join us there.
So we're going to take a pause tomorrow, but then we will be back pregame and postgame for both Friday and Saturday.
I'll be here both
Bucks
days.
Friday, home opener, Alex Caruso and the OKC Thunder on Saturday. Purdue's in the house for both.
He's in the house.
Let's freaking go. Goat will be up at United Center North on Friday for that one.
Correct.
And in the meantime, make sure you follow him for his Bulls reporting, Will_Gottlieb. Read his stuff, allchgo.com. You can follow this man in the middle, Will_Perdue32. Big Dave is about BAWL Sports. I'm Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out and thanks to our production crew hanging with us tonight. The one and only Katie Duffy and Sarah Bear. Have a great Wednesday night, Bulls Nation. Have a wonderful Thursday. We will talk to you Friday for pregame.
Yes.
1 down, 81 to go. Love y'all. See you, Red. Be good.
Hug your family. Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.